Look at this, ladies and gentlemen. We have caused 2 million casualties to the Germans by early 1943 as Austria by just holding basically Vienna. This is a pretty insane strategy. Hello everybody, welcome back to Let's Talk Grand Strategy, where today we are going to try to survive as Austria in Hearts of Iron 4 and see if we can somehow make it all the way through World War II without being annexed by Germany. So full disclosure, I was inspired by someone posting on Reddit. They had held only the city of Vienna, and I think it was 1940 in their game, and they were still alive. And so I wanted to try the same and see how well I could do. Now I've already set up the game and done the early build-up phase. It's 1938, so we should be invaded any moment. And a quick thing, or quick explanation, what we're doing right now. I've gone down the fascist route, so we get lots of extra recruitable population, so we have enough people to fight this war. We are currently only producing infantry equipment and a little bit of support equipment. Just trying to get our army filled up. Our army currently consists mostly of these infantry divisions with 24 width. I've chosen 24 width because Vienna is a city tile, and in cities, as we can see, we have a combat width of 96, so that divides nicely by 24. Yeah, basically the plan is to hold Vienna as long as possible. To make that possible, I have built up level 8 force in Vienna as well as level 3 anti-air so far, and we're building currently more military factories, but after that we're also going to build more anti-air, more forts if we can. And I have chosen not to take any of the industrial focuses so far, because if we take them only after Germany invaded, then we are guaranteed that all the factories are gonna spawn in Lower Austria, which is of course what we want. We don't want factories to spawn in Tyrol or Upper Austria, and then Germany would capture them and get them all from us. So yeah, that's why we're waiting on the factories. Our setup is, as you could imagine, as defensive as possible, trying to get all defense bonuses we can, just to give us an extra fighting chance in this war. So yeah, I'll let the game run till the Germans invade us, and then we'll see. Oh yeah, okay, the Germans just invaded. So let's quickly see how it's going. They are of course gonna quickly take over most of our country, and there's not really too much that we can do about it. Yeah, I really hope that our 10 divisions with about 100,000 soldiers in them can hold the fortress bunker town of Vienna. Oh, and an 11th division just spawned that very moment there. Yeah, so 11 divisions, really well defended tile. I hope we can hold against even German tanks, but I think tanks get a massive combat negative modifiers if they're fighting in cities, if I remember correctly. Oh, we're also missing aluminum now, so let's buy that from France maybe. And there we go, first battle of Vienna. It seems like we're doing well so far. We have really good defense, as you can see, as we're very well entrenched. And yeah, let's see if we hold against their first attack. And it seems that yes, we are holding against their first attack. Very, very nice. So at least they cannot break us quite immediately. Let's see what more research we want to do. I don't think there's much 38 tanks. Maybe we can start researching anti-tank too, just so we can kill their tanks if that's what they would later try to kill us with. Also, we get more army experience. Yeah, in case you're wondering, I'm gonna go down mass mobilization just for that extra bit of recruitable population, because our capital state of Lower Austria only has 2.7 million people in it, and 2.7 million people is not that much, of course, in terms of manpower. So yeah, we really need to squeeze out every percent we can. And now we can start taking all the focuses here, I believe. Let's start with the armament focus, and yeah, it seems like we're really, it seems like it's pretty easy to hold Vienna actually. Like, it doesn't seem like they have any realistic chance of breaking through, at least right now. What can we do around here? I'm not sure if anything here is super useful to us at this moment. So maybe we'll just go up to war economy so we can build some more buildings. Yeah, we can really see, maybe we decrease the mill factories here. We can really see that, of course, our factory counts are starting to suffer. But yeah, we've held the first German attacks, and let's see how that, look at that. Yeah, that resulted in only 2,000 casualties for us and 40,000 casualties for the Germans. Now the thing is, of course, the Germans have around 70 million people, and we have 2.6 million people that we can, well, in our population. So quick maths, that's like 25 times more people they have. So actually at this loss rate, we would still, I believe, run out of people first. However, of course, Germany is not gonna only fight us for the duration of the war. They are also eventually, of course, going to attack the Allies and eventually going to attack the Soviet Union. So it's not like we have to kill all of them, but still really cool to see just how insane these casualties are that we are causing to them early game. But yeah, I think I'll leave it off right here, and I'll get back to you in a little bit to see how it's going. And welcome back. It's now early 1939. The Germans have still not done Sudetenland for some reason, and they are almost up to 100,000 losses compared to our 5,000. I've decided to somewhat switch up our division template and add additional anti-air, anti-tank and artillery, just so we cause some more damage to them when they attack us, and so we're somewhat safer from their tanks and their air attacks. And yeah, so far it's going really well. They have still not managed to even get a yellow attack once, so all of their attacks have immediately been green. So have immediately been pretty much certainly won by us. And okay, now they've completed Sudetenland, so yeah, World War II is soon going to start, I assume. Unless you want to say it has already started with us, but I don't think this is really a world war so far. Italy has just joined the Germans, and we can already continue here in our, what is it called? Land doctrine. Sorry for that. And by the way, as you can see, I am currently producing everything with not importing all the resources, just so we have some factories left that we can use to repair the infrastructure the Germans are damaging with their constant attacks. I don't know if we would run out of supplies in our capital if they destroy our infrastructure. I'm not that familiar with how the game works. But yeah, I think it's definitely good if we keep the infrastructure up in Vienna. And yeah, first Italians are also now arriving on our front. In total, they are up to 150,000 casualties compared to our 8,000 casualties. So if we keep these casualty rates up, then I don't think they're ever gonna break us, because we can still increase our conscription by quite a lot, and we can still in our where is that now? Here it is. We can still in our land doctrine get 5% recruitable population. So yeah, overall I don't think we're gonna run out of manpower, even though we just hold one single city against the Germans. It's late 1939, and for some reason the Germans have still not started the war with Poland. Maybe it is because I'm still holding out. I don't think they're blocked out of their factory tree, their focus trees, of course, what I'm trying to say here. Yeah, I think they should still be able to do Danzig or war, but for some reason they're not doing it so far. But yeah, anyways, in the war so far, we've lost 8,000 men and killed 340,000 Germans. So even if they would start World War II right now, I'm sure they could still overrun Poland, just because, well, it's not that hard for Germany in this game to overrun Poland. But I wonder if there is a chance that 400,000 losses we are causing to the Germans before the start of the war might mean that the Western allies can hold France, or maybe even hold the Benelux. So yeah, we'll see about that, but I think that would be super cool if our contribution here went beyond just holding one tile and even had a larger effect on the war as a whole. But yeah, we'll see about that. And there we go, World War II has started now, with Germany declaring war on Poland. So yeah, I'm playing the game on historical, of course, so as you can see, very historical start to the whole thing. Now the interesting question I have is, can I join the Allies even though I am a fascist country, but I am at war with the Germans, so yes, I can join the Allies and we can see the overall war. So let's see how it's going for Poland if Germany has lost 440,000 troops before the start of the war. Let's see if Poland in fact stands a chance. We can also see, I believe this is less German units than you would have in the average campaign on the Polish border. Maybe they have more units, of course, over here. That could be the case, but I believe it's just that they've lost so many units already that they just can't bring the same amount of starting army to the table that they would usually have in this game. Anyways, what are we doing around the doctrine? I don't really think we need anything right now. So let's maybe just do repair for now. And yeah, Germany is still shredding Poland. Poland only has 47 divisions in total. So a border this long, you can't really hold with 47 divisions if your enemy has any kind of offensive power whatsoever, I would say. So yeah, Poland is slowly losing. Sorry for doing my research while recording. I'm sure you want to see this more than the research. And how's it going over here? I mean, of course, we didn't really cause any damage to the Italians, or in fact, I believe, yeah, no damage at all to the Italians. So Italy will still be as strong as they usually are. So they might still push into France, I'd imagine. Yeah, they are definitely pushing into the Allied lines in Africa right now. Oh, and that's a really early declaration of the Germans on the Benelux countries before Poland has even fallen. Or maybe it just took so long for Poland to fall because of their losses. But anyways, let's see if they can push through the Benelux. Seems like they're not overrunning them in the same way they'd usually overrun countries like that in the game. So I think we have game impact, everyone. I think we have game impact as Austria, which is awesome. And so far, we have killed by far the most Germans. We have by far the most war participation even. And we have honestly no trouble whatsoever holding Vienna. Like, I think we could even push out, but I don't really see the point. It would just make it, well, it would just make it harder for us to hold the front line because, of course, Vienna is an amazing tile to hold. We have this river protecting us, we have all the fortresses and everything, and if we, say, also wanted to hold this tile, it wouldn't give us any bonuses, and it would just mean that they have an easier time attacking us and causing damages to us. So for now, I don't really want to push out of Vienna at all. Yeah, what is this? Are we seeing an Allied offensive in the Benelux in 1940 that is actually successful and pushing the Germans back? Okay, I mean, now Poland has fallen, so of course now I imagine Germany will have enough troops to push through the Benelux into France. But yeah, I'd say Poland has probably held out a little longer than they usually do in the game. And who knows, maybe even the Benelux is gonna hold out a little longer than they do in the game. Fingers crossed. I think there's even a chance that the Western allies here are gonna hold out until the United States join and really, well, turn the tables and make our side win this war. But yeah, so far the Germans are pushing, but it's not looking all that bad for the Benelux, I would say. I just noticed a little unfortunate event, which is that the German declaration on France means we can no longer trade with the French. So right now we can still trade with the Soviets and get our steel and everything we need from them. However, long term, this is probably going to mean as soon as the Germans declare on the Soviets, we can no longer get steel, or maybe get steel from someone like Sweden. So why don't we do it like this, so we don't lose that one steel trade at least, if the Soviets eventually fall. But yeah, long term this might turn out to be a real problem for us, I would say. So maybe it's worth it to get logistics companies just so we can capture some of the German equipment. Was it logistic companies that do that? I'm not sure. But yeah, that might turn out to be a problem long term. Anyways, the war in the West is going really well for us, to be honest, so far. So we can see the Germans are every now and then pushing one tile further. But so far the line is holding. And of course, I think the longer this war lasts, with our side having more factories, the worse it's gonna get for the Germans, and eventually the United States are gonna join in. So we might even see a game where France doesn't fall, based on Vienna being an absolutely unconquerable fortress held by 180,000 angry Austrians. The Germans have also just declared on Denmark and Norway, so I believe Denmark is still, like, even with the weakened Germany we have in this game, not gonna be strong enough to hold off their attack. Yeah, we see Denmark still falling pretty quickly to the Germans. Also, by the way, interesting, it seems like Britain is able to defeat the Italians in East Africa, while the Italians are somewhat pushing us back, or not us, but our allies back in North Africa. So yeah, interesting African campaign. And the Benelux, as well as the Italian-French front, are still holding. And well, of course, Vienna is still holding. I don't think that was in question. They aren't really attacking us all that much anymore, so we're not really causing them any extra casualties. I think at this point they've just lost so many troops that they don't really have the strength left at this point to push us at all. So I was thinking maybe we should try some risky maneuvers, like try to push down somewhere like here and create a little encirclement. So I believe, since we have pretty good material anyways, we should maybe train up some more troops for eventually trying to push a little bit into the German lands and trying to recapture some of our own lands. So yeah, let's train up like 10 more troops maybe in Vienna, of course, and have them all join this army here. And when that's done, we're gonna try to do a little push into Graz and to encircle some Germans in this area. So yeah, it seems like the Germans and Italians are beginning to push the French back on the Italian front, while the Benelux front is still holding surprisingly well. So if France falls, we might see them fall through this southern front here. But yeah, still I believe definitely that the allies here are holding out a lot longer than they usually would, just because of our participation in this war. Also, ooh, very good landing the British did here, taking the Italians' port in Albania and encircling the Italian troops here. So it also seems like Greek is going to hold out this campaign. So yeah, it's November 1940. It seems like the French, well, I'm not sure if they're gonna hold out much longer, just because the Allies are a bit dumb and sending way too many units to hold the Benelux, and by far not enough units to hold the Italian front down here. The Germans are once again starting to attack us a little bit, and our units are coming up very, very soon. So when they come up, what we're gonna try to do is attack in both directions and take these 4 tiles. So this tile, this tile, this tile, and this tile, which would encircle German units in these 3 tiles right here. So yeah, I really hope we can pull off an encirclement right here. That would be really cool, I think. And maybe we can even then hold this whole area for a while and see how well that goes for us. If we're getting pushed back, of course we're gonna fall back to Vienna and make sure that we're still safe in the city. But yeah, maybe we can extend our lines a little bit, and maybe that way even get more German units lined up here and take some of the pressure off the French front, which seems to be really collapsing now. And there we go, our new units have spawned. So what we're gonna do is take like 6 of them to attack up here, and take like 8 of them to attack down here along this way, and see if those attacks are, well, yeah, it seems like they're working. Then we're also gonna need something like 2 units maybe to hold this tile. So let's send 2 units down here to hold there. And very well, we have the reinforcements in here now to hold this tile. We're pushing into Graz as well. That seems to be going well. Yes, seems to be going well. Yeah, we're taking Graz. So let's also keep some units in Graz to make sure that we keep that. And we have taken the tile up here, so let's make sure our army also will stay in there. And maybe keep some more units here. Maybe keep, well, keep you guys here. Get one of you to go over there. And don't have all of you join as reinforcements. And, oh, and I'm stupid, because of course this is not an encirclement, because Bratislava is also in the German faction. So what we're gonna have to do is also attack here and push this tile if we can. And then we should have an actual encirclement going, or maybe should we just try to push them out of there? Let's see if we can do that. Okay, they're retreating in the wrong direction. So unfortunately we were not able to pull off an encirclement here, but we were able to push back the Germans and get a little bit more of Austria under our control. Unfortunately, not any part that is giving us something like factories though. But yeah, it seems like we definitely pulled off some German units from, well, from over here, and now it's mostly just the Italians pushing. But it seems like the Italians are going to be enough to push the French. I was just looking, I don't think we have enough equipment to really help out the French all that much here. So yeah, we might have to give up our French allies very soon. But is this smart? I think we should collapse our lines somewhat here and make a line from Vienna up until Graz. And yeah, make it like a 3-tile long front line that we're holding. It seems like overall our front line here is maybe getting a bit too long to really hold it well. But if we can hold 3 tiles, that is still, of course, going to be really, really good, I think. And still hopefully going to be enough to get the Germans to attack us again and get the Germans to lose forces again. So far they've lost 550k against us, while we've lost 20k against them, so it's going really, really well overall. But yeah, this situation is definitely worrying, and I don't believe I can send any volunteers to France, can I? I can't send volunteers, but I can send expeditionaries. Let's see really quickly if that works. So if I create a new army here with a new commander, can I send these guys to France? Expeditionary force, this guy. Yes, I can send them expeditionary forces. No, never mind. Okay, no, that unit's still here. Okay, never mind. Let's take that force back. Yeah, I wish there was something I could do to help out the French here, because if we do nothing, I think we're not gonna have France in our faction very much longer at all. But yeah, that might unfortunately just be the way this goes. I think we'd have the strength to well, keep the Axis at bay, but it's just that our allies are keeping too many units up here and not enough units down here. On the other hand, it's already 1941, so if France can hold out a couple more months, maybe the Americans would come in and really save us in the situation here. But yeah, we'll have to see about that. For now, we're holding our front lines really, really well, and I'm happy with that. Yeah, it's really unfortunate, but the French are getting pushed back significantly by the Axis here. And we're still holding relatively well, so I think we're gonna do something very desperate here and just send the French everything we can. So this is gonna be once, and we're gonna send you 5,000 infantry equipment and 1,000 support equipment and 600 artillery and 300 anti-air. And I don't think it's gonna be enough to keep the French alive, but I hope it's gonna keep them in the game a little longer, because let's put it this way, if they fall, all of their factories are just gonna help the Axis, while every day they hold means less factories and more losses for the Axis. And that might be the difference that in the long term, well, the difference between Germany overrunning the Soviet Union or the Soviet Union being able to stop Germany. Overall, the Soviet Union is really weak, I think, this patch. So it's really important we weaken the Allies as much as we weaken the Axis, of course, as much as we possibly can before the start of the German-Soviet War. But yeah, I believe what we're seeing here is probably the last days of France. It doesn't seem like there's much of a chance for them to hold out much longer. Paris is 1 tile away from the front line now. So, yeah. Unfortunate, but I don't think we can expect the Western Allies to survive in this campaign. I'm thinking if there's anything else I can do to help my allies in this situation, but I can't really think of anything right now, to be honest, unfortunately. Yep, there we go. France has capitulated. All the factories have fallen into Italian hands, it seems. And for now, the Benelux is still holding out, but without France, I don't think there's much of a chance that these regions are gonna hold out very long either. Luxembourg has just fallen. We see them being pushed back. So yeah, this is probably the end of the Western Allies. I'm thinking now if we should maybe fall back with all our units to Vienna, or if we should try to hold the 3-tile front line. I think for now I'm gonna continue holding the 3-tile front line, just because a longer front line probably means more attacks from the Germans, and more attacks means more losses we're gonna cause them. Overall, they've lost 670k against us, which is really, really good, and is probably the reason why France held out all the way into 1941. But yeah, as I said, we're probably gonna see the end of a Western Allied presence on the European mainland very soon. Okay, I think we're gonna try to do a little sneaky maneuver here, and we're gonna try to push the Germans out of this tile right here, while we move like 2 units or something into this tile. And if that works, then we are gonna pull off an encirclement. And I think it would just be really cool if we could pull off an encirclement in this game. Not that it's gonna have a lot of game impact, of course, but yeah, it would be cool. So let's see, is it working? Is it working? It seems pretty good. Let's reinforce if we have to. I don't think the Germans are sending any reinforcements. It's looking good, it's looking good, and we did it. There we go, ladies and gentlemen. We have pulled off an encirclement of the Germans as Austria, which is not something you see every game. Definitely not something you see too often in this game. Yeah, and there goes their units. So I think though we're still gonna go back to our original front line, just because it's easier and shorter to hold for us. But yeah, really cool that we could encircle some Germans there. Yeah, Belgium has just capitulated. There are still some allied units that are now encircled here, and are all gonna die, of course. The Netherlands are still holding out so far, but I don't think we can expect that to last a lot longer. Overall, I still have hopes though for this campaign, just because Germany has already lost a lot more units than they usually would, and they're probably weaker than the Soviet Union now that they don't have France. They're at something like 120 mils and something like 100 civs, and the Soviets have, yeah, overall probably better numbers than that, it appears. So that's really cool, and yeah, I really hope we can see an Allied victory still in this game, just so we could take maybe some German states in a peace deal. That would be really cool. And the United States have just joined the Allies. Now it is of course too late for them to save France. However, now with the United States, I hope that we can see an Allied victory in Africa. I hope that we can see Allied landings in Italy. And maybe, I think it's possible, with US troops coming in, we could even see the Netherlands survive and basically become a permanent D-Day base in Europe. Now I've noticed we are slowly running low on some critical equipment like anti-air, artillery and support equipment. So I've decided to switch around a bit and import all the resources we need for now, which yeah, means we can produce everything at full speed. But I don't know if that's gonna be enough to hold 3 tiles. So maybe long term we're gonna have to fall back to Vienna again, just so we have enough units and enough production to hold our front line. Yeah, you love to see it. Here's the first American troops landing in Europe and helping out the Netherlands. And also with American help, Italian Africa is almost defeated at this point. So yeah, overall France has fallen, but it's still, I'd say, going pretty well for the Allies. Oh, even a British landing in Romania. Cool, cool, cool. Oh, okay, I noticed I'm dumb, and the reason I didn't have enough equipment was because the land lease with the French was still going on for some reason, even though they had fallen and become free France. But yeah, that's where all my equipment went. So now that I canceled that, we once again have full equipment in every category, which is really good, of course. And yeah, Axis presence in Africa is still a thing, but if the Allies are not extremely dumb here, then we should see the Axis defeated soon. Now, of course, it's not just the AI being dumb, it's also that the supply situation here is absolutely terrible. So that's a big part, I'd imagine, of the reason that they've not managed to push the Axis out fully. But yeah, long term, we're probably gonna see the Axis being pushed out of Africa, and I hope that is gonna lead to some Allied landings in Italy. So yeah, the United Nations has basically gathered in the Netherlands and is still able to hold them so far, although they are overstacking these provinces pretty horrifically. However, I think the Netherlands has enough supply. Yeah, it seems like the Netherlands almost has enough supply even for this insane amount of units here. So yeah, while our efforts have not saved France, they have saved an Allied beachhead in Europe, at least so far. It is now 1942, and we have so far caused 1 million casualties to the Germans at a cost of, where are we? There we are. At a cost of 38,000 casualties to ourselves. So yeah, at this rate, I'm not sure who of us would run out of manpower first, to be honest. But I am sure that at this rate, if Germany keeps attacking, yeah, they're gonna have a big trouble conquering the Soviet Union with the amount of losses we're causing them. And yeah, Africa is still undecided so far, and the Netherlands are still also holding out. Oh no, it looks like we're gonna lose the Netherlands. It looks like we're gonna lose the Netherlands. Or are they holding? We have battles like this every other day at this point, and yeah, it's really interesting to see. But they might still fall. If the Axis made one big push and just didn't stop, they could push the Allies out of here. Also, by the way, since I noticed I've never shown it so far, this is the situation in Asia. Of course, if you don't have Waking the Tiger, I believe, and you start in 1936, then Japan is almost guaranteed to lose against China. I'd say like 8 out of 10 games, something like that, China wins against the Japanese, or manages to, well, really push the Japanese back. So yeah, that's what's going on in Asia. And in Europe, I'm hoping the Allied pocket here is holding, and we are of course holding no problemo. Ooh, the British have actually managed to create a really nice big landing here along the Black Sea coastline of Romania and Bulgaria. And maybe if they play this well, they could even defeat the Romanians and Bulgarians, who have no real land connection to the Axis because neither Hungary nor Yugoslavia have joined either faction so far. It's mid-1942, the Germans have still not attacked the Soviets, and have lost 1.5 million soldiers against us so far. I think we could easily do another encirclement if we wanted by attacking this tile and encircling these German troops. But to be honest, they just keep suiciding themselves into our lines anyway, so I don't really see why we would do that. Like, sure, we could kill these units a little faster, but we'd also lose some of our equipment in the attack. And well, we have a lot of equipment in our stockpiles, but our production is not that high, so we can't really risk losing too much equipment all at once. So yeah, overall I think the best thing we can do is to just hold out in our free tiles that we have, and basically let the Germans attack until forever. And if their losses keep piling and eventually maybe they do attack the Soviets, then I'm pretty sure that should make make it easy for the Allies to do D-days all around Europe and eventually hopefully push back the Axis. Look at this, ladies and gentlemen, we have caused 2 million casualties to the Germans by early 1943 as Austria by just holding basically Vienna. This is a pretty insane strategy. Yeah, we're in March 43 and I'm honestly getting a bit bored here. Like, there's not much for me to do. We could, of course, try to push out a little bit, but then we don't really have the manpower or the divisions to do anything more than maybe advance 1 or 2 tiles and then hold again. And again, taking those tiles wouldn't really do much for us because we're not getting any extra resources or extra manpower or anything like that. So I don't think there's any reason for us to do much but sit here and, well, while Bulgaria might soon fall or other interesting stuff might soon happen, it might take a while, so I'm just gonna leave the game running in the background for maybe the next 30 minutes and then come back and see what kind of situation we find ourselves in. So yeah, stay tuned for that. Alright, I just returned. It's now 1944 and not much has changed. The Netherlands pocket has been cleared by the Axis, but now there is a Hamburg pocket by the Allies around here. The fighting in Greece, Romania and Bulgaria is still going on, and Germany still hasn't declared on the Soviets. And we are, of course, still holding around here. By now we have caused 3.3 million casualties to the Germans, which I believe that means yes. So we're basically fighting with just this one state, and by now we have caused the Germans more casualties than we have people living in our country at this point. Yeah, we have 2.9 million total people living in our country. Yeah, I'm just gonna leave the game running a little longer, see if anything interesting happens, but unless the Germans declare war on the Soviets eventually, I don't think this game is gonna go anywhere. I think it's just gonna be stalemate forever. Alrighty, we're entering 1945 and I'm pretty much utterly bored, to be honest, at this point, so I'm gonna do some maneuvers in a 3-step plan, and if that doesn't work, then I think I'm gonna end it at this point. But anyways, here's my plan. So my plan is step 1, create another German encirclement here, take out this tile, and then encircle these troops right here. So that's what we're gonna do right now and see if we can succeed with that idea, and it appears we very much can do that and pull that off. So there it, well, almost was the encirclement. Maybe keep that tank pinned right in there, and there we go. That should be these troops gone. All right. That is gonna mean that our front line is somewhat more secure for step 2 of our plan that we're gonna start very soon as step 1 is basically concluded, which is right now. Alright, step 2, get our front line a bit larger by capturing this next supply hub here in Klagenfurt. So that means we need these 3 tiles at the very least. So let's see if we can push in and get those tiles, I suppose. In the south we're not having that much success right now, but we're also not really attacking with all our might. So let's get some more might into these attacks. And are we pushing? I'm not so sure. Yes, we're pushing them right there. Fantastic. Please push on to here. And please reinforce the attack right here to push them out there too. Now we don't really have any manpower, so let's maybe train up some fewer troops to ensure that we're not completely running out of manpower for now. But of course these attacks are quite costly in manpower. Yeah, please get some more units in there. And you also continue on to attack into Klagenfurt, please. And can we take the tile? I believe we can do that. That's fantastic. We're still holding the line. We've taken Klagenfurt, and now we're gonna wait a little bit for this supply hub to convert, and then the final step of my plan, and this is the really crazy step, I suppose, would be to try and push all the way down into Trieste, which means we have to take 1, 2, 3, 4 more tiles. Yeah, if that succeeds, it will allow us to have a port, and that means that we can get allied reinforcements into our pocket, and then maybe with allied reinforcements we can actually start seriously pushing the Germans back. But yeah, for now let's attack right down here and see if we can push that tile. Our supply does not appear to be super good right now, but it should get better any moment. Yes. By the way, I think we're still supplying by horse. I don't know if we've... Yeah, no, we have no trucks, so we gotta supply by horse, to be honest. So yeah, let's supply by horse then. And see if we can push the Germans out of there. And the Italians, please reinforce this attack. Thank you very much. And is it working? I'm not so sure, but yeah, looks good overall. Looks good. All right, then please continue on. Into there. Yeah, of course, attacking these mountain tiles is not smart whatsoever, but we really gotta keep the Germans pinned right there. And we should take this tile any second, or not. And there we go, we finally took it. All right, let's attack this tile one more time. And hope our defense here is working. And one of you already tries to go for Trieste, which I know it's a bit of a long shot that this whole thing is going to work right now, but who knows? Maybe we're gonna be lucky here. Yes, doesn't look too bad. Should we go crazy and even try to go for Venice? I'm not sure, but who cares? Who cares? You know, it's the part of the campaign where I no longer really care too much about anything, to be honest. So, I suppose, why not go for Venice too? Is someone staying behind here? Yeah, I believe someone's staying behind here to keep this tile safe. And please let us have one of the Italian coastal tiles. That would be absolutely fantastic. All right, we've secured the first little bit of coastline, and so far it seems like we're still holding the front line fine-ish everywhere. Should we try to push into Venice? The Venice has a lot of resources that we could really need. But we're getting pushed back right here, so yeah, let's first try and secure Trieste and then think about Venice. Oh yeah, okay, no, never mind, we're getting encircled right here unless one of our units arrives in time. Oh, okay, yeah, our units did arrive in time, in fact, so please stay put and keep these tiles safe until our reinforcements have arrived. Do we have a supply system linked up? We will soon, so that's very good. And then one of you please try to push down here. Vienna's still holding fine. Yes, Vienna is still holding perfectly fine. That is good. That is very good. Alright, and now you guys can maybe already start pushing Trieste a little bit. We should hopefully soon have units in this tile too. Yes, very good. Very good. And there we go. I believe we secured Trieste, which means the Italians are now encircled down here. and which should hopefully mean that we'll soon get some allied reinforcements going, which would of course be really helpful to us and our cause here, because we cannot probably hold this much of a front for long ourselves. Now, should we still try to go for Venice is an interesting question. 1 second. First of all, one unit should definitely secure Trieste to make sure we have no allied naval landings, allied Axis naval landings, of course, taking it from us. And yeah, I believe we're gonna try to go for Venice, just because the amount of resources that we could get from that state if we manage to take it would be absolutely fantastic. And yeah, now the first allied troops are beginning to arrive in Austria, which is of course also very much fantastic. And yeah, for pretty much the first time in this game we have resources, it seems, which we're of course just gonna use for, well, pretty much producing more of everything, I believe, that we already use. Yeah, now maybe, should we try to take this further? I would of course really like if we could push up to, say, the Danube River here and retake some of our lands. Oh, that didn't work for some reason. Yeah, please push up to like here. You're not doing that, okay. Never mind then, just, oh. Am I dumb? I'm dumb, right? I'm absolutely being dumb. I don't get what's wrong there. Alright, never mind. So I guess we can't have an offensive line because I'm too stupid to figure out how they work or something. But yeah, that's how it's gonna be. Oh, Rome has fallen. Ooh, United States is doing really good work down in Italy. Now also allied naval landings happening up here. Yeah, it seems like 1945 is the year that we're finally making some progress against all of our enemies. We could also maybe trade for steel. I believe we have enough civilian factories so we can do that. I really don't understand why I can't do offensive lines. Let me maybe try and redo this whole front line. And now, do you let me? No, you don't. Okay, I'm being stupid. Let me just quickly figure out how I can do an offensive line here, and then I'll get back to you. Okay, finally the game let me do an offensive line. I have no clue what went wrong there, but yeah, never mind, I guess. I'm just looking. Yeah, we could maybe get this tag. Is there any tag here? Maybe the extra resource tag would be useful, I suppose. Yeah, we're not gonna do radar, maybe just get more research speed. Should we try and do a general push along the front line just to increase the size of our little pocket that we're holding here? Yeah, I believe let's do it. Let's do it and see how it goes. Of course, we don't have any manpower, so this is really desperate moves just because the game's so boring, and yeah, I'm absolutely like bored out of my mind at this point. So let's get some action going and see if we can push the Germans back a little bit. And yeah, doesn't seem like that was a good idea at all. We're getting pushed back now. So let's stop those maneuvers and hope we can still somehow hold our front line. Hold it, please. 1 second. Bloop. Are we getting pushed anywhere else? No, it's just this tile that's really fucked. Okay, seems good. Seems okay at least. Okay, doing a push along the front line was an absolutely horrible idea. And almost cost us everything we had here, and we're probably gonna lose Venice because of it, so yeah. That was not smart. But yeah, the Allies seem to finally really get Italy. And then maybe we can link up with the Allied forces in Italy. And then we can do something here again. Our manpower is still increasing. Yeah, it's still increasing month after month. Yeah, so if we could get our other states back, of course, that would be, well, do absolute wonders for our manpower, but I'm not sure we can. So, yeah, I think it's not that interesting right now anymore, so I'll maybe get back to you when interesting stuff happens again. Oh man, the AI in this game is killing me, man. Do you see this? The United States just decided, oh, let's have the Italians take back southern Italy. Why not, right? So we're gonna do really desperate measures here and send the Austrian army to save American Italy. Not a sentence you say every day. But yeah, let's see if that works. Please don't also abandon northern Italy. I can't hold all of your front lines, Mr. AI. I'm not that strong. Yeah, it seems like at least they're holding in the north, and we're also holding pretty well along our front line. The Allies have made a landing in the Netherlands as well again, and are holding pretty well there too. So maybe out of one of these landings one day we're gonna be able to actually do something like a little push. But yeah, we'll have to see about that, I guess. For now, let's try to get the Austrian army to defend the Allied landing in Italy if we can at all. We have our first troops in there now. Should we? Yeah, let's go for a push. Let's try to take Italy for the Allies, even though we have no manpower. Yeah, I think we have enough equipment, to be honest. Let's just go to all adults here. Is this increasing? No, it's not increasing the monthly speed of manpower, so it's not actually that useful, I guess. Yeah, you go encircle that German unit, please. Oh yeah, the Allies are really, the Axis are really getting reinforcements into southern Italy now, which is not fantastic if you ask me. But yeah, I believe we've stabilized the situation here somewhat, maybe. And we're starting to push them back. Oh, also I think, what is this? Oh yeah, we don't have trains, so let's get some trains going, please. Yeah, we have enough resources to get trains going. That's good, that's good. I wonder how it's possible even that the Axis are getting troops in here. Like, shouldn't the Allies have complete naval dominance at this point? Let's see, can I see that? I guess no Allied units are operating in any of the world's oceans, so no. Okay, well, never mind. All right, I'll see what I can do about Italy and get back to you and hopefully wrap this game up soon. Okay, so the Austrian intervention in Italy was successful, and we have managed to secure southern Italy for the Allies, which now means we have actually some units that I believe we're gonna use to try and connect our lands in Italy with the rest of the Allied push in Europe. Because if this was one big united front, it would probably be a lot stronger. And I'm just gonna hope that the Allies are smart enough to prevent any Axis landings here. Although the Axis don't even have that many ports left that they could land from right now, I believe. But yeah, anyways, let's get our boys here, and let's not give the Allies, the Axis too much time to prepare here and just try and push them straight away. Is that working? No, that's not working at all. All right, but then for now we can maybe just try. Oh, it is working maybe in this top. Anyways, for now maybe let's just try to stabilize the front line here, and maybe later on we can do a push in this area. And we have pushed Bologna, and if I'm not mistaken, this might be the fall of Italy. Yes, there we go. Italy has fallen. So what situation does this put us in? It puts us into a fantastic situation where, as you can see now, all of France has also been liberated in one big swoop. So yeah, I guess let's try and keep the Axis troops encircled around here. So let's take Genoa, because they can supply through Genoa. Let's ideally push them out of here, and let's see if we can't also push them like here maybe, or here maybe, because then we could cut them off from their possible northern reinforcements, which would be fantastic. Is it working? Is it working? Oh, also you guys can support this attack from the other side. that would be also fantastic. And I'm not sure if this is a good idea to actually try and pull this off, but yeah, if we could pull it off, it would of course be absolutely amazing. Just gotta make sure we're not losing Vienna in all of this excitement, because that would of course not be so much amazing. Yeah, let's maybe try and push with these guys, because then again, maybe we can establish a front line here that encircles all the Axis troops in Italy. I believe it's looking pretty good. I believe it's looking pretty good. Is it? Is it? Yeah, I think we've encircled the Axis in Italy. Let's quickly check in the factions map mode. Yes, that looks like a big encirclement. By the way, I hope the Allies are smart enough. Yes, they're smart enough to get troops into France. So it looks like we're gonna win this game after all as Austria, which is absolutely amazing if you ask me, that we managed to pull it off, and also speaks to the game not really being balanced all that well, I dare say. Like, I'm not sure if this should be possible, frankly. I don't think this should be possible. Like, yeah, this just seems a bit broken, but no, I'm not gonna complain. Let's enjoy it while it lasts. Yeah, big encirclement, killing lots of German divisions here in Italy. Nice. All right. Yeah, I'd say we continue the push and try to liberate more of our Austrian lands, ideally, if we can. That would be very, very cool. By now we have, I believe, almost all of our population back, so that means a massive amount of manpower for us. Yes, now we have 8 million population. Fantastic. Are we low on any kind of equipment? Not really. Then let's just through the bank increase our production of everything and import some more of this stuff. Should we try to train up some more units? Yeah, why not, to be honest. Not too many, because we don't want to run out of manpower again. But yeah, I believe that this is pretty much won. Like, I don't see how the Axis can come back from this point unless all other allies immediately surrender or some you know, shenanigans like that happens. Sure, I'll take your convoys. Thank you very much. Yeah. Japan is not in the Axis, right? Always good to check. No. So when Germany surrenders, we are probably actually gonna have a peace deal, which is gonna be absolutely fantastic. And yeah, we're pushing pretty well. It seems we're pushing pretty well. Good, good, good. Can I get maybe some other state here from you? This state would be amazing with its resources. So can we ask the Americans if we can get Lombardy and Piedmont? Would you give me Lombardy and Piedmont? No, you would not. All right, never mind. Yeah, I'll continue to push and I'll let you know how it's going. All right, it's going really fantastic. So let's look at some statistics just before the war's going to end. We've lost 260,000 troops so far, and we've caused the Germans 5 million casualties, so way more than the US or UK or anyone else in the world. Yeah, truly biggest game impact, I guess, for Austria. Do we have biggest game impact? No. What? Only 9%? I'm doing all the work here, guys. I deserve more than 9%. But anyways, yeah, as you can see, we have taken Berlin. We're pushing into Germany really, really well. And I believe this game is going to end very soon. So it seems like it's the last days of Germany. I really hope, at least right now. Yeah, our front line just broke in half there, which is always really annoying when it happens. But no, yeah, never mind. Should be fine, should be fine. Anyways, what have I learned from this game? Well, holding a single tile in this game is absolutely insanely overpowered. Like, obviously, this is nowhere near realistic. Like, obviously, you can't just turn a city into an impregnable fortress and then expect the country, like, you know, 10 times your size to die attacking that city. That's not anything that happened during World War II, and that's not anything that would have ever happened. But of course, this is a video game, and this is supposed to be fun, not to be realistic, so I'm not gonna complain too much. But yeah, I think it's well, I'm kind of torn if I should say it was a fun playthrough, because most of the time I was just sitting there, and to be honest, around like 1943 it was getting insanely boring just sitting on my 3 tiles doing nothing. So I'm really glad we're finally close to the end. Please excuse my voice, I'm just gonna drink something real quick. Oh, and there's the peace deal. So hope my voice is better now. What I wanted to say just before we do this peace deal, I think defense is insanely overpowered in this game. Like, we should not be able to cause 20 times the damage by just holding a tile. Then we are losing ourselves. So even in World War I or World War II, in offensives, sometimes the defender had more casualties. So it doesn't really make any sense, I think, that well, defending is this much more powerful than attacking. That shouldn't be the case, but it is what it is. I don't really know what else to say about it. It's a video game, it's supposed to be fun, so I understand that Paradox well, created a way, I guess, for smaller countries like Austria to survive by just holding a couple tiles. Same thing you can do, by the way, if you want as Poland. Just holding like this area is a pretty easy way of surviving long term, even if you start in 1939. And yeah, I don't know if the game would be better if they changed that necessarily. I don't know if it would be more fun if it were, you know, more realistic and you had less of a chance as smaller countries. But I think it would maybe be better if defense wasn't as overpowered as it is right now. But anyways, let's get this peace deal going. So I definitely think we want South Tyrol because we have cores on it, I believe. I think we want Austrian access to the sea by taking Veneto and Istria, and we already can't do that. Then is Veneto like... Yeah, I think we want Veneto. Let's take Veneto. And then can we take anything else at all? Does not appear so. Alright, then let's end our turn. Can we take anything this turn? Yes, we can. Very cool. Let's take these 2 states then. And then I guess let's maybe pass once. And these borders are going to be very much cursed, but let's try and take some tiles over here. Can we take this tile? Yes. Can we take Bohemia? No. So let's maybe pass one more time. And then try and take something like this. And something like this. This. And yeah, not much else that we could take that I think makes any sense. So let's click done here. Now, of course, we could continue this game a little bit longer, just see if we are able to maybe fight the Soviets with all the allies combined now. But I don't think, to be honest, it would be too interesting to do that. So yeah, I'm really happy for everything we achieved here. I'm really annoyed that we didn't take Sudetenland in the end, but who cares? Yeah, thank you all so much for watching. Please let me know what you think about these kind of videos, where it's not just me talking and watching the AI, but also me playing a country while kind of commenting the AI and all like that. Yeah, let me know if you want to see more of that. And as always, thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you all back in the next video. All right, see y'all. Bye-bye.